So, you're ready to take a stab at bottoming. That's great. It's a super enjoyable experience. Thank you to Mr. Prostate. The thing is, it can carry its own complications and difficulties, so this video is to help answer a few questions that you may have so that you can get well on your way to having your G-spot tickled. The biggest question is, will it hurt? Yes and no. At the beginning, there will be some discomfort and perhaps pain, but as you get more used to it, that will quickly fade. If you're in pain, it's most likely because you're moving too fast and you're heading to the main event before you should. Pain is your body's way of telling you that there's a problem and you need to listen to it. First off, lube. Use it. Lots of it. When have you used too much lube? When the bottle is empty. Apply liberally and reapply often. Lube is the savior of bottoms everywhere. Experienced or novice, it is a necessity. The last thing you want is to be having a hot makeout session with your date, and as they go downtown, you're wondering if they swapped in Edward Scissorhands to fill in for a moment. Cleaning up is important, and there's a couple different options, some easier than others. The easiest is to just use your fingers and some soap, clean up the area and a little bit inside, and if you're confident, you're good to go. Another option is to do an enema. There's a couple different ways to do this with tools and different items, but the most common would be, something that looks like this. So you've got your ball, you fill it up with water, stick her inside, squeeze some water in, you wait in the shower for a little bit, then step out, push out the water into the toilet, and repeat if necessary. The thing is, don't do this too much because it can actually dry the tissue inside, which will lead to tearing during sex, and tearing means pain. Don't eat beforehand. We can ignore the reality as much as we want, but your bum is not exclusively reserved for sex, and it is not good at multitasking. If you plan to be bottoming, you need to plan your food schedule around that. Does it suck? Yeah. But so does worrying about ruining your new sheets the whole time you're having sex. When you plan to bottom, you need to have enough time to digest your food and be confident, clean up, and be ready to go before you have sex. Don't starve yourself, but you do need to think ahead and plan things more than other people do. As a bottom, you are in control at first. Tops, they don't really need to worry about any pain or any prep whatsoever. But as a bottom, if somebody pops inside you without you being ready or comfortable, it is going to hurt. You know the feeling when you Charlie horse your leg? Now imagine that inside your ass. It's not a good time. So when you're bottoming, you set the tone, you set the pace, and you let them know how comfortable you are, and they follow that direction. Being gassy after bottoming is a normal thing. It happens more so when somebody is pulling out and going back in multiple times because they're pushing a bunch of air in there that is going to need to escape. A way that you can avoid this is by communicating with your partner and maneuvering between positions without actually pulling out. It can be complicated and a little bit awkward at first, but it's a lot less awkward than sitting in bed and farting all night while you're cuddling. So that's my tips for your first time bottoming. Hopefully it can give you some pointers and some advice and maybe help you avoid some of the problems some of us have had. In the end, gay sex can be messy sometimes, and it's just a reality. Don't ever feel bad about that, and don't ever let somebody shame you for it. It's just what happens, and you both know what you signed up for. It can be a super enjoyable experience most of the time, but sometimes things go wrong. Don't worry about it, just move on. You're gonna have a great sex life, and have fun. Let me know in the comments what you think, if there's anything you would add to this list, because I would love for people to see it and to see your advice as well.